Hello, this video is to show you how you're going to let us know about any issues that you find with the data that we have imported for your organization. The way that you do this is actually going to be very similar to the way that you'll let us know about any issues that you find with whatever you run into as you begin using EmpowerDB for real. So it's kind of good practice for you to get into now. So what you're going to do is mouse over this share icon in the menu here on whatever page that you find that there's something wrong. And you're going to click on highlight page point. And now your mouse turns into this thing where whatever you put your mouse onto, it's going to do this highlighty thing. So in this example, we're going to suppose that there really should be an email address here and we're not seeing an email address. So you can highlight this little text box, the kind of the cell around the text box, it doesn't matter. But what we really don't want you to do is just click somewhere pretty random on the page and just kind of type whatever. That's actually going to make it be longer for the issue to be resolved because we're just going to kick it back to you and say, can you do this again and click on the proper part of the page that actually shows us what's missing. So you will click here and say, and then here's a little text box. So we require that you write something here in this text box to let us know a little bit more about what you're seeing the problem is. And it could be just as simple as this client is showing as having an email in our old system. So that would be fine. If you felt like you needed to tell us what the email address was, having an email of amy@gmail.com, you know, that you could do that if you wanted to. I'd say in this case, it's not really necessary, but whatever. We're going to submit this, and that's going to create a support ticket. And that support ticket will go directly to the person on our team who is responsible for doing your data conversion. And that your project manager, if that's not your project manager will also be really keyed into looking at these messages as well. Okay, so let's just do one more. Okay, before I go on, I just want to make sure we saw the message that came here. So if you see other people who have an email address missing, do not submit an extra entry, one of these entries for every client or every whatever that you see is having this be missing. You just have to tell us one time per thing you see wrong. We not only just have to tell us, we really only want you telling us about one of those times. You're just going to make extra clutter and make more work for yourself and for us. If whatever's causing Amy's email address to be missing is the same thing that's causing everybody's email address to be missing, we just need one example and we'll get it sorted out. Okay, so let's kind of go here and say, highlight page point. This birthday is wrong. No, that person is not 56 years old. So we can come here and say, we're seeing this child's birthday as April 12th, 2016 in our old system. Okay, and that would be helpful for us as well. You know, what if there's other things that you know, like if you're seeing this as like something else that's really specific and you know why that is the way it is, and whatever clues that you have, if there's something more you can tell us, please tell us. Like, we can figure these things out, but the more information we get from you, just the easier it is for everybody. Okay, so we'll submit that issue as well. And then now I just want to talk about like what's going to happen, what we would do if like there's just a complete client missing or a whole section that's missing. So there won't be really anything to click on in that case, since there's just, you know, general missingness. So I would say like do your best to just go to the system to be like, okay, there's a client that we know was in the shelter and they're missing. Let's go to the shelter program list. And then here we give you permission to just click really anywhere on the page just to be like, we're not seeing Jane Doe in the shelter program. Where is that client record? All right. So yes, in this case, you can just click on a random part of a page that generally gives us an idea about where you would expect to see this client or expect to see this entry. That's always helpful for us. Just do your best. Okay, so we'll submit that entry, and then now let's go take a look at what's happening when we submit all these things. So let's view that entry specifically here. And so that creates a support ticket entry, and it includes a link to that page that you're on, the note that you said. If you want to come here and tell us a little bit more information, maybe you found something out later, you can go here and add this in. When we respond to you, you'll see our response through here. You'll get an email notification letting you know that we responded. You can respond to that email notification right through that email notification if you want, or you can come right back through here and respond it. After we respond, if you feel like it's all settled and it's all worked out, you can click this archive button, and that gets this ticket out of the way, so that when you click up here and look at your support tickets, you see just the support tickets that you still feel like need to be worked on. So the data conversion issues that you feel need to be worked on. We will almost always rename the tickets that get created to give a little bit better summary about what the issue is. So don't be concerned if you see us naming these things differently. And yep. That's it. So one other thing that we kind of don't want you to do, and that is we don't want you to evaluate the success of the data conversion by going to the reports pages and saying, okay, I'm going to run a variable query report and say, show me the people, the gender of people active in all programs through here. And maybe after you run this report, you're going to see 9, that number is way too low. That's not a data conversion issue. That is whatever report that you're running here is going to be just all kinds of different things than whatever report you're using to compare whatever you're seeing here. If you can use these reports like this to look at this and be like, wait. But Blake is listed as a female. I know that Blake is not a female, and you can come in here and be like, okay, let's see. I'm going to go to this here and say, find that, I guess it was here. Find this and say, this is wrong. Should be listed as a male. So that is fine to use the reports to kind of show you where there is a problem, but don't come here and say, this number is too low, or there's nothing we can do about that. We're going to focus on how to make sure your reports match what your expectations are later. For now, this is just about, is your data in EmpowerDB the same as what it was in your old system? And you would also not come here and use this as a way of saying like, can we see client hair color in this list? That was not something we would count as a data conversion issue. That's something that you want changed for your setup. During this phase, we only work on your data conversion issues. We will just say for everything that you want to be changed in your system, we're just going to say make a list and let us know after the data conversion is finished. All right. I hope this information was helpful to you. If you have any other questions, just send your project manager an email to let him to know what you need to know in order to figure out how to go through this important process successfully. Thanks.